The Roomba i3 Plus is my first iRobot product, which I couldn't resist and decided to buy one. I have always been fascinated by Roomba's double rotating brush roll system, as well as fully rubber rollers that seems absolutely awesome for dealing with long human hair, so finally I can test it on my own and compare it with other robots I have. In this video, I'm testing the robot's cleaning performance, put the auto empty dock into extreme conditions. Also, you are going to see how well the Roomba i3 Plus navigates around, some maintenance routine, app features, and other tests. The top color is made of material looking like fabric, and I personally like it as it doesn't leave marks on the lid. The start button lights up when the robot works. Underneath, the Roomba i3 Plus looks very identical to the i7 Plus. There are also two rubber double rotating rollers, two large wheels, cliff sensors, and an optic floor tracking sensor. The Roomba i3 Plus creates a map by measuring speed, distance, and directions with a gyroscope and floor tracking sensor. The dustbin only holds 300 ml of debris, but it doesn't make a big difference since the Roomba has a full dustbin sensor and it returns to the dock to empty itself when the dustbin gets full. This seems to be exclusive iRobot patented technology which I haven't seen in other robots. The HEPA filter is the smallest I've seen. It is housed on the side of the dustbin and is not washable. The self-emptying base is taller than other bases I have had, but at the same time it doesn't look bulky. Behind the base is room to adjust the cord. iRobot does not state the capacity of the bag, that is, by the way, comes in a number of 2 in the box. But based on the official website, it holds 30 bins of dust and can be replaced about once in 2 months, which varies depending on usage. The Roomba i3 Plus can be controlled via the iRobot Home app, and the nice thing is that it supports a 5 GHz frequency Wi-Fi band, while most other robots works only with 2.4 GHz. Like I already mentioned, the Roomba i3 Plus navigates by using a bunch of sensors, including a gyroscope and motion tracking sensor. The robot navigates in straight lines, more or less not skipping spots. Even though this navigation technology is cheaper and not as accurate as the camera or LiDAR-based navigation, I'm quite surprised that coverage was close to 100% in this test. Unfortunately, the i3 Plus doesn't show them up in real time, like we used to see in LiDAR robot vacuums. You can only see it when the robot is finishing cleaning. As this navigation technology is not as precise as LiDAR and camera-based navigation, there is no option to save a created map, so the robot has to create a new one every time it starts cleaning. For this reason, it also lacks all my favorite features of high-end robots such as no-go zones, room cleaning, zone cleaning, and so on. iRobot says the i3 Plus lasts up to 75 minutes. In my testing, it did run 90 minutes on a single charge. Theoretically, on a single charge, it will clean 70 square meters area. The robot has recharge and resume function, meaning in big houses it returns to the base to charge and then resumes cleaning from where it left off. But I wouldn't recommend getting it for a big house or cluttered houses, as mapping is not as accurate and the robot might lose its way around. Also, waiting for the robot to charge between cleanings is not very convenient, when robots with a larger battery finish the job on a single charge. There is no front sensor that would recognize small objects on the floor, which may lead to getting stuck on socks or cables, so I always spend a few minutes picking up small things from the floor before starting the robot. My place has more or less clean layout, so the robot doesn't get stuck anywhere. But if you know there is a cluttered zone in your house or other areas where the robot might get stuck, you would need to physically block this area or buy a virtual wall barrier bundle, since there is no virtual wall feature in the app like in the most expensive i7 and S9 models. Because of the dual brush design, I find the Roomba i3 Plus a bit more noisy on hard floors compared to most other robots I have. I hear a lot of good things about Roomba, with its double brushes being great at cleaning carpets, and I absolutely agree with it. While it doesn't have suction as strong as some competitors do, thanks to the patterned dual brush design, it picks up all the debris, sand and fine particles amazingly well. One of the greatest advantages of the Roomba over competitors is the ability to sense dirt. When the robot detects dirty areas, it automatically makes one more pass in that area. The good thing is that you can see where it found lots of dirt on the map report after cleaning. That's another iRobot exclusive feature. In my deep cleaning test, I used 20 grams of sand on a medium pile carpet to see how much the robot can pick up in one pass. The Roomba i3 Plus collected 50% of sand. In my next videos, I'll show how other robot performs in this deep cleaning test. On hard floors, it does a great job with sand, but not as good with larger debris, as the side brush rotates too fast, scattering debris away, more than most of the other robots I've had. But since the tests are extreme and most of us don't have to clean a big amount of debris on a regular basis, scattering is not such a big deal. Thanks to dual roller brush extractors, the Roomba i3 Plus deals with pet hair and long human hair. Sadly, there is only one power setting and no carpet boost option. I'm used to seeing a few suction modes to choose from in other robot vacs, so not having this option in the Roomba i3 Plus leaves me a bit frustrating. Overall, this is one of the best robot vacuums in terms of cleaning performance I've tested, and besides some debris scattering on hard floors, I have nothing to complain about. Normally, other robots I test clean on a 2 cm plank, but the Roomba struggled with it. The maximum height the Roomba can cross without issues is 15 mm, so ensure you don't have such obstacles in your house. Thanks to not having a ladder on top, the Roomba i3 Plus can fit under most furniture, but it has a small thing on top that makes it a bit taller than camera-based competitors. It also bumps into things more harshly than lighter robots, and hearing those bumps is a bit annoying. Yet I don't think it will damage your furniture. I own a few robot vacuums with a self-emptying base, and putting the robot's base in extreme conditions is one of the testings I do nowadays. Besides the base is a bit noisier than other bases, I had no complaints on the day-to-day usage. I packed the dustbin with pet hair and let the base do the job. It failed and threw an error message saying the air duct is clogged. The hair got stuck in the outlet, so if you have pets that shed a lot, make sure you run the robot at least twice a week to prevent this from happening. For the second test, I packed the bin with heavy debris. The base sucked up most of the debris, yet left some in the bin. Even after the second attempt, it was not able to completely empty the dustbin. And for the last test, I packed it with a mix of dust, cat hair and debris. It was able to suck most of the dust, but still left some debris in the bin. All the bases have some issues with emptying fully packed dustbins, and the Roomba base is not an exception. It is better than Altenik, Nibat and Lutster bases, and probably on par with the Yeti base in terms of performance. However, I think the Dreamy base performs a bit better. The Dreamy base has two ports, one air intake and one dust port, so it agitates air inside the dustbin, which helps to empty heavier debris better. The Roomba base, on the other hand, has only one port, through which it sucks the debris out. The most significant advantage of the Roomba base over all the competitors is its full bin sensor, meaning the robot always knows when the bin is full and automatically returns to the base to empty itself. Then it continues cleaning from the spot it stopped. I think this feature will be very handy for those who have a few large dogs or cats and deals with lots of hair or other dust. In my apartment, the dustbin never gets full, so I would never have a case when the robot goes to the dog to empty itself during cleaning. Yet it is fascinating to see how the Roomba returns to the base, empties itself and continues cleaning. The app is not as feature-rich as I'm used to seeing nowadays, mostly because the robot uses a simple navigation system. But the app is pretty stable, clean and minimal. The most disappointing thing to me is the lack of ability to send the robot to clean a specific room, which I'm used to do a lot with my LiDAR robots. Scheduling allows setting cleaning at a specific time and day. There are a whole bunch of voice packs to choose from. You can see a cleaning history that has detailed stats with charts, definitely more detailed than most competitors. You can switch between on-demand and automatically self-emptying. There are 3 settings of cleaning. Room size clean, which means the Roomba would clean a large room once and smaller rooms 2-3 times. Daily clean makes the Roomba cover the entire space once. And the extra clean, so the robot cleans the cleaning area twice. To clean a spot, you can manually put the robot where it should clean and press the spot cleaning button. With Google Home and Alexa support, you can start and stop cleaning with simple voice commands. Since the i3 has a self-emptying base, maintenance is minimal. If you have long hair as I do, you would need to clean the roller brushes and side sweepers once in a while. The good thing is the Roomba rollers are much easier to clean out of tangled hair than other robots I have. Like once a week or 2, I clean the filter by knocking it on the trash can or blowing with compressed air. When needed, I wash the dustbin with water. Let's conclude. The Roomba i3 Plus performs amazingly well on carpets and is pretty good on hard floors. I really like the full dustbin and dirt sensors, and the base is definitely one of the best on the market. Navigation is not as accurate and efficient as in camera and LiDAR-based robot vacuums, but it's still good, covering more than 19% of area in an average house, but spending a bit more time on the job than LiDAR-guided robots. The app doesn't have all the features we've seen in LiDAR robots in this price range. But maybe you don't need those fancy features. There are a lot of people who just want to press that button and let the robot do the job, and the Roomba i3 Plus will fit their needs easily. The build quality is pretty good, and iRobot customer service is one of the best on the market. The biggest con is that some competitors give you more features for the price, even though their reliability and customer service might not be as good as provided by iRobot. Subscribe to my channel, press the like button if you enjoyed the review, and all the links are in the description.